300 people killed and injured in 17 terrorist blasts in Baghdad. The Egyptian General Prosecutor orders the imprisonment of 72 pro-Mursi people accused of committing acts of violence and terrorism. Resignation of a Libyan minister and another official resign as a result of the deteriorating security situation across the country. Good afternoon, this is News English from Syrian Arab Television in Damascus. Syrian Arab Army units restored complete security and stability to the quarter of al-Khalidiya, killing and wounding many terrorists in various areas. They also confronted and repulsed a terrorist attempt to attack the National Hospital in Tel Dow in Hom's countryside. The army defeated the last terrorist group in their hideout and defused dozens of explosive devices which they planted in houses and highways. Units of our army also clashed with terrorist groups in other areas, killing and wounding several of them. In Iraq, the number of the victims of terrorist explosions in booby-trapped cars in Baghdad and other areas rose to 55 dead and more than 200 wounded.
Iraq witnessed a bloody terrorist escalation that targeted innocent civilians in several crowded quarters and markets, leaving great damage and much blood everywhere. There were 8 booby-trapped cars that exploded in various areas. 2 of them exploded in Al-Qud town to the south of Baghdad, killing 10 people. Al-Muhammadiyya witnessed another explosion that claimed the lives of 4 people. The other explosions hit a number of quarters inside Baghdad. There were other explosions in Basra and Al-Samawa. These explosions carried the fingerprints of Al-Qaeda, which suffered a great defeat at the hands of the Iraqi security forces in several areas against this terrorist organization. The Iraqi people have never seen security or stability after the exit of the American forces. Iraq became one of the largest terrorist havens in the world, supported by the old chiefdoms in order to dismember this region and divide it into conflicting cantons to serve the Zionist American agenda.
Yesterday, the Iraqi army cleared areas of al-Khalidiya and Salmanbek of terrorists and restored stability to these areas. They also killed 6 terrorists on the Syrian-Iraqi border and detained several others. Moving to Palestine, the People's Committee for the Defense of Syria in occupied Palestinian territories held an evening of solidarity with Syria against the aggressive war that targets its security and stability and which aims to weaken its resistance of the Zionist American schemes in this region. The General Judiciary Authority in Egypt ordered the detention of 72 of the supporters of the deposed President Mohamed Mursi, who joined a sit-in in the square of al-Walid, charging them with murder acts of terrorism in addition to possession of weapons and explosives.
Egyptian soldiers were killed and 70 others wounded in terrorist acts in Sinai. The acts of terrorists exceeded peaceful protests and expression of opinion. The state is now forced to take firm and strong measures to stop any breaking of the law. That's why the Egyptian Residential Office gave a strong warning to the Muslim Brotherhoods to stop their terrorist acts and to end the sit-in in Rabi al-Adawiyah. However, the Muslim Brothers didn't listen to these warnings. The Presidential Office gave orders to detain 72 suspects of the supporters of Mohamed Mursi. They were accused of terrorizing citizens, arson and acts of bandits. The detained suspects included a leader of an Islamic party. Helicopters threw leaflets at the sit-in in Rabia al-Adawiya calling for stopping the acts of terrorism and chaos in public places. Supporters of Mursi attacked more than 8 inspection points in Al-Arish, Sheikh Zweid and Rafah in Sinai using various light and heavy weapons, machine guns, RPGs and a long-range American-made missile fired against the building of the Directorate of Security in northern Sinai.
In Libya, Kamila Khamis al-Mazini, Minister of Social Affairs, announced her resignation from the interim government following the 2 bombings in Benghazi. 2 successive blasts ripped through Benghazi, targeting the headquarters of public prosecution and court and prosecution complex and the Attorney General office north of the city, killing 43 people and inflicting heavy material damages. In Tunisia, the political crisis continued as Minister of Culture Mahdi Mabrouk asserted that dissolving the government was not improbable, while demands for such measures escalated. The first consultant in the temporary presidential office, Al-Hadi bin Abbas, resigned from the leadership of the Conference Party, to which the temporary president, Al-Munsif al-Marzouqi, belongs. At the same time, the official spokesperson of Al-Takatul Party, Muhammad Bandur, considered it probable to see the resignation of Mustafa bin Ja'far, chairman of the National Council. The opposition called for the resignation of the government led by Al-Nahda movement. The United States is suffering from a dangerous social gap and a great deal of disparity in income, as the rich become richer while the poor become poorer.
According to economic statistics, the American capital is owned only by 7% of the people who represent the rich class and possess 63% of the public wealth. The statistics also showed that 80% of the Americans are rapidly approaching the edge of poverty while the economic situation continues to deteriorate. According to figures reported by Associated Press, 4 out of every 5 people in the U.S. are suffering from the crisis of unemployment. The widening gap between the rich and the poor led to the spread of the phenomena of displacement and poverty in spite of the pledges of the American President Obama to renew the focus on the economy since the start of his first term in office.
Serious social gap in the United States of America. This became the general situation in the American society, with rich people getting richer and the poor getting poorer. Moving to more local news, ballet is the oldest and the most prestigious type of European dancing, and in Syria, ballet school is 25 years old. During this period, many dancers graduated from the ballet school who participated in several international and local festivals.
Under the patronage of the Culture Ministry, the Syrian Ballet School has been separated from the High Institution for Dancing and Music, giving the school full independence and the ability to enlarge and develop several experiences. The school has ballet teachers who have graduated from the most prominent international Russian and French ballet schools, as well as an orchestra specialized with special ballet symphonies such as the Swan Lake. What gives the school its importance is the new generation who continue their practices with full energy and hope in the future and gaining good results to the Syrian ballet schools on both Arab and international levels.
And with that saying, we come to the end of our news for today. For more details, you can visit our website in English, www.syriaonline.sy. Stay with us after the break, the latest in the world of finance in our economic news.